I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I believe you are way too talented to be afraid of taking risk.
Today's topic, pretty simple. Taking risk. Welcome to the show, Black Male Advice TV. We are back with another one. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Make sure you get the likes up on the video. Very important that you do that. What we're dealing with is taking risk. And this is something that is a message for the gifted, the talented, people that have extraordinary abilities. This is the video that you need to see. This is the video that's going to get you to the next level. All right? So we're going to sit back. We're going to listen to what the brother got to say. And then I'm going to share my commentary and criticism where need be. So let's take a look from the top and play the video again. Let's go.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I believe you are way too talented to be afraid of taking risk. I believe that you are way too talented to be as comfortable as you are with comfort. There are some of us in this world, as a matter of fact, it may be a lot of us, that know deep down in our heart of hearts that we have more to give to the world. But for some reason, we've kind of stopped doing that. We've kind of kicked back. We may have experienced success in the past. And now we're like, you know what? I'm just going to be comfortable. I'm just going to ride this out. For those of you that are destined to change your family tree, for those of you that are destined to really leave an impact on this planet, you can't do it that way. In order to be remembered, in order for you to do what you know that you are capable of doing, you must not be afraid of taking risks. And then you have to ask, like, why are we so afraid of taking risks? Why do we get to a certain point in our lives where we don't want to take a risk anymore? We could have experienced extreme success. We could be afraid of failing. There are so many different things. But fear is the fare. Fear is the fare you must pay if you're going to change the lives of your family members, if you're going to change the lives of your loved ones, if you're going to do something that's truly memorable and truly impactful. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and go to a place that you really don't want to be. As a matter of fact, you need to get comfortable with being in that uncomfortable zone. You must be there, because if you are one of those chosen people, if you are truly talented and you've let talent carry you all throughout life, but now the gas tank is running empty, you have to put in some guts. You have to put in some guts and you have to jump. You have to do that thing. I guarantee you that some of you have family members, loved ones that praise you all the time. They're like, oh, good job, Toki, with this and that. Good job with this other thing. But you know deep down in your heart that took almost no effort. You know deep down in your heart that you could be doing a lot more than you're doing right now. I'm making this video. Once again, I don't know who needs to hear this. I'm making this video just for myself to come back every now and then. You know, it doesn't matter if this video gets 4, 5, 6 views. This is something I'm going to be able to come back to, because I've realized recently that life is so amazing. Life is so great when I take risks, because I am that guy. And I believe that you are that guy or gal.
Now, let me pause right there for a moment so I can share some of my thoughts about this. I've been talking about things like this for several years in terms of how as people, we got to use our abilities. We got to use our talents. We have to actually go out there and actually take risk. I would liken this to this way of thinking. Let's just look at it this way. You have talented people that have extraordinary abilities to do a lot of great things in this world. You're highly gifted, highly talented. You know you're blessed, but everybody else around you, they're not. Now, I say that to make it very clear that there are two different types of paths in life. One, the talented and the gifted must take risk in order to become successful. Whereas people that want and desire to only live an average life, they are programmed to do what they do every day. For example, getting up in the morning to go to a 9 to 5, to punch a clock, to do the same thing every single day with no desire to start a business, no desire to use your abilities, no desire to try to do something that you can literally earn a living from. And not just a living, something that you actually enjoy. Because a lot of us are not really enjoying our existence in this world. We are existing, but we're not living, if that makes sense. We're here, time is going by, but we're not really living life to the fullest potential because we got complacent. We procrastinated. We took our talent and we buried it underground. You're afraid to actually step out and use what you do. A lot of you supposed to have a business. A lot of you are supposed to be very successful on social media. A lot of you should have done many things with your abilities, but you got comfortable. You decided, look, I'm just going to keep my job and go to my 9 to 5 and do what I'm told and just get my paycheck and just be happy. And then when I'm 65 or whatever, I'll just get a pension. And that's when I'll go buy that boat that I always wanted and take a couple of vacations and then just pretty much die. Well, that right there is a clear example of when you knew you were born to do a lot, but you didn't want to take the risk. You were afraid of failing. You were afraid that somehow by you stepping out there, something was going to go wrong. When you're gifted, when you're talented, you have to understand that your talent and your gift is going to make room before you. It'll bring you before great men because of the risks that you take. You understand? If you're a talented person and you're listening to me, if you're a gifted person, I'm talking about a person with extraordinary capabilities. You are unique of all the Most High's creations. You have the ability to go out there in the world and win in all areas. And a lot of people know that you have the gift and they don't like that. This is one thing that, listen, when you're a person with extraordinary capabilities and gifts and talents, understand that other people will envy you because of that. They realize that you have the key that can unlock a lot of success. The problem is a lot of us are not taking the risk necessary to get us to that promised land. Instead, what we're doing is we're being comfortable. We're just taking it one day at a time. We don't want to really put ourselves out there. We don't want to fail. And in order to become successful at what you do, you have to take risk. You have to fail in order to win. It's something that we must learn to embrace. You can't be afraid of criticism. You can't be afraid of the feedback people give you. You have to put yourself out there. If you're a person that do music, you got to put out your talent. You got to put out what you do. You got to take risk. A lot of times music people are afraid to put out a song because they don't want people to judge them. They don't want to sound a certain way. Some of you folks that produce music, you get so caught up in learning equipment, learning software, learning a compressor, learning this, that you miss out on actually just being expressive with your talent and just making music. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the biggest problems in especially amongst music people. Let me make that clear for the folks that do music. I was actually on YouTube. I found this one particular channel. I don't recall the name. I apologize to that content creator, but it was a particular content creator. I'm subscribed to his channel. If anything, what I might do is when the video is finished, I might find his channel and I'll post the video in question in the description and in the comments. And I'll also link this brother's channel so you can go to his platform and show some love over there as well. But this one particular music maker, he called himself, not a music producer, he called himself a music maker. He made a post that pretty much resonates with me as well, because it's something that I've always expressed, is that as musicians, as people that produce music, that are music makers, that love music, we love software and sounds and different instruments, and we just love to play. A lot of times we get so caught up in the technology, the learning curve of different software, learning how to use the compressor, how much bass to add, how much to cut, how to use a parametric EQ. We get so accustomed to trying to master all of these things that we're no longer being expressive with music. Just make music and let it sound the way it sounds. Do you understand me? Don't get so caught up. Don't get so caught up in the perfection of, I got to make sure everything sound like this CD and like that song and like this radio ready song. No, is as a music maker, just make music and just be expressive and let your talent flow. That's the most important thing to do. Because by you doing that, you're taking risk. You're putting yourself out there. You're literally building up your skill set because you're not afraid. You're just enjoying yourself. And that's the thing that we must do as creative people. You have to enjoy what you do. It's your lifespan. It's where you get your joy from. It's from doing the thing you love, whether it's cooking, whether it's decorating, whether it's sewing clothes, whether it's playing sports. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you do that is a gift that you have, that you were born with, and you've discovered it, you must be able to enjoy what you do. Because a lot of us, we go to these 9-to-5 jobs. You don't like being there. You go there because you have to pay your bills. You have to pay your car note. So you go there and you put up with the BS, even though deep down inside, you don't want to be there. You understand? Well, you have to take risk. If you got a talent, if you got a gift, you got to jump out there. You got to take risk. Does it mean you leave your 9-to-5 right now? Not necessarily if you don't got things situated. But at the same time, you got to take risk. You got to go out there. You got to put yourself out there. You got to start something. You got to have a social media presence. You got to promote yourself. You got to do things because at the end of the day, other people are not going to do these things for you, fam. They're not. You understand? So that being said, let's get back into the video. Let's go.
Watching this video also. So we both need to hold each other accountable and act and take risk in anything that you're doing. If you think that you're capable of making tens and thousands of dollars with whatever talents that you bring into the world, pursue it. If you believe that you are the person that could change your family tree, pursue it. Let me tell you about one of the times I did not take advantage of an opportunity that came my way because I was afraid of taking risks. So I had a friend named Josh Goovy. Okay, he's just always been a hustler, always been doing his thing. He modeled for a while. He made it big. He was like on the front cover of the Lululemon homepage and all this stuff. He knows that I've been doing voiceover work for a while. Nothing serious. It's been a lot of literotica. I would produce audiobooks for authors that write literotica and stuff like that. And he came to me with a project. He was like, hey, I would really like to use your voice for this startup, for this commercial, XYZ. He sends me the requirements that he was looking for. I give him back a sample and he's happy. He's happy with it. And he's like, hey, yeah, let's just tweak one or two things. And me, I never tweaked those one or two things. As a matter of fact, I did the lowest of the low that you could possibly do. And I basically went ghost. I had a surgery at that time. It was a failed surgery. And I used that as an excuse to not deliver on my word.
That's another problem that we do when it comes to our talent, when it comes to things that we do best, is that we make excuses for why we can't do it. A lot of times, and I'm going to always use like music folks as an example. A lot of times you'll have music folks, they'll say stuff like, well, I don't have a good computer, or I don't have a good microphone, or I got to go to school so I can learn how to use the software and X, Y, and Z. And these are all excuses that people typically make when procrastinating on reaching their goals. I can recall back in the day when I was doing music, I didn't have computers back then. You would use like keyboard workstations. Primarily workstations like the Korg 01WFD, the Korg Trinity V3, the Triton Extreme. You had the MPC. You had all these different production tools that you could use to actually make music. And I can recall talking with other friends, and they'll be like, well, why you're not doing music on a computer? And my excuse back then was, oh, I could do music on my keyboard. I don't really need to use the computer. And it's not that I didn't need to use the computer. I was afraid to actually jump into that world and discover what I was actually missing. You understand? So I can recall a friend, he was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm not using this particular software. I believe it was Cubase or whatever the case is. He was like, hey, you could take this. All you need is a computer. But back then I didn't even have a computer. So it's like I would give more excuses of, I didn't tell them I didn't have a computer because it was sort of embarrassing, because a lot of times you have people that they had certain equipment and you couldn't either afford a decent quality computer, or you didn't have a computer to begin with, or you just didn't know how to use the software. So I would make up excuses. And what it did is it left me in a position where I was sort of like behind on technology while everybody else was moving forward, learning Logic, learning Fruity Loops, learning, you had all different types of different software, Cubase, Pro Tools. You had everybody learning all of these softwares. And while they're developing their skills and they're able to use different plugins and effects and all these different things, I'm still stuck in the past using outdated techniques. Even though I'm able to still be successful at it, I was literally working harder to achieve the bottom line. So basically, we have to begin to stop making excuses for why we don't want to move forward and stop being afraid. All right, let's go.
And to not like capitalize on that opportunity. And you know what? To be very honest, success is a little spooky. Success is a little spooky when you're already in a place that's comfortable.
That's another problem. As creative people, we get comfortable. A lot of times I get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, it feels good. It feels good when you're comfortable because you think, okay, I got this, I got that, everything is okay. But it's not the end. That's not the bottom line. You have not really reached where you truly supposed to be. A lot of times we stop because we get comfortable in a job, or you're making a certain salary and you're able to do what you do part-time. And it's not that it's bad. The problem is you need to do it full time. Going to that 9 to 5 is actually holding you back from doing the thing you really love to do. So it's very important as brothers and sisters that we really take the risk and understand that we got to put our full potential. We got to put our best foot forward when we're doing what we do and what we love, because a lot of things that are behind us or things that we're doing is actually holding us back. You could be working at a job and your job is holding you back. It's holding you from your potential. Look, let me explain something to you, fam. If you're holding, let's say 2 dumbbells in your hand, you got one here, you got one here, right? And somebody's telling you, hey, I got a bag of money I need for you to carry, but you got to carry both of the dumbbells. You're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to get rid of the weight. And for a lot of us, we're carrying a lot of weight. You understand? We're carrying a lot of weight. We have our life preoccupied. Our hands is full with this and that, and all of the stuff that we're carrying is useless. Like, why are you carrying around 2 20-pound dumbbells? You're carrying this extra weight. The bag of money is lighter. Why don't you just get rid of the weight and pick up the bag of money? But see, that's the problem. We're not doing that because we would rather have the weight. It makes us feel comfortable because you feel like you're working out. You feel like you're making progress. You feel like you're making gains. But the thing is, all you're doing is holding yourself back from making progress. And a lot of times you can have people in your life that is holding you back. Family members holding you back. Listen, not everybody that is your family is going to be there to support what you do. I'm just being honest with you. A lot of times family can be jealous of you and not want to see you grow, fam. Let's go.
I definitely believe that, sure, there was the failed surgery at the time, but that did not stop me from getting on this microphone and using my voice to try to make this world a better place. Instead, I used my fear of risk, my fear of not perfecting this role and the fear of not perfecting this startup form to paralyze me into not doing anything at all. I responded like weeks later. I like left him on red for like weeks. And then I come back like, hey man, I had a failed surgery, blah, blah, blah. And, that's terrible.
It's terrible. I know exactly what that is like. A lot of times opportunity is sent to us. We have blessings that are pretty much delivered to us from the Most High. And because of fear, because of the fear of failing, sometimes the fear of success, sometimes you don't even want to do it because you're scared of the success. You don't want to get there. It's like, it's a weird thing. Sometimes we can't, as creative people, sometimes you can't really explain it, but you'll get so much opportunity thrown at you that you're afraid to step out. Now, I ain't saying jump out and do everything with everybody that want to collaborate with you or work with you, because not all of those people have good intentions when working with them. But at the same time, sometimes you can be given an opportunity that is very great and you're afraid. It's like you just don't know what to do with the success. Whereas other people around you, they'll jump on the bandwagon and go along with it. But for whatever reason, because of the amount of talent you have, you think you got time. You think there's going to always be another opportunity, not realizing that, yeah, you're talented. Yeah, you're gifted. But when opportunities come your way, fam, you got to know how to take the risk. You got to do it. Right? You want those doors to open for you. Let's go.
That's terrible because you know what? At that point in time, I used that surgery as an excuse instead of looking at it for what it really was. And that was my fear of risk at the time. I mean, life is great now. I'm back in my comfort zone. I have my chip on my shoulder again. That chip that I believe is absolutely necessary for talented individuals to keep in order to make this world a better place. I have it now, but I guarantee you there are many other people that are experiencing the exact same thing. It's a little spooky going from, however many thousands of dollars a month to tens of thousands of dollars a month, because that changes your life. That changes the impact that you have on this world. That changes, your level of responsibilities. And if you're just sitting around doing your thing, kicking your feet up, riding off of previous successes, you're never going to truly make it into that person that you really felt like you were destined to be.
That's very important what he just said right there, because a lot of times as creative individuals, you'll have what is called as minimal success, where it's like you're comfortable. Things are going good. You're making a couple of dollars. You're able to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? You bought a car. It seems like everything is good. So you get comfortable and you figure, okay, I don't got to do anything else. I could just kind of relax. It's going to always be like this, and it's not going to be that way. As a creative individual, you must understand that as life moves forward, you got to continually evolve. You got to continually reinvent yourself. You got to continually sharpen your skill sets and grow and step out there and do more and more and more. You got to challenge yourself, because what happens is a lot of times as creative individuals, because we're talented, because we're very gifted, it's easy for us to produce. It's easy for us to make things. And we think we got all this time to do it, not realizing that life is short. Life is very short, and we have a very small window of opportunity to make that difference in this world. So pay attention. Let's go.
Think about it like this. There was a 10-year-old version of yourself that believed you could be an astronaut. That 10-year-old self believed that you could do anything in this world that you truly wanted to do. But you stopped connecting with that version of yourself. You stopped connecting with that 10-year-old version of yourself that didn't care about anything and knew that another day was coming. And
that's a very, very good point, because when you really think about it, as a young kid, you also knew you were talented. See, I knew I was gifted and talented from the age of 5. And back then, I didn't care about criticism. I didn't care about what people thought. I didn't care if I didn't have on the latest shoes. None of that stuff mattered. What mattered was me just playing the piano and having fun. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about nothing else. While other kids wanted to go outside and play, I wanted to stay in the house and play the keyboards. That's just the way I was. So it's very important, because a lot of us, we lost that hunger. We lost that thirst, that desire that flame that kept us driving and moving forward. It's something that we got to keep on, I guess, renewing. We got to kind of renew that flame and light that fire. This is why it's very important to keep yourself encouraged, because a lot of times you're not going to have other people that's going to encourage you on your journey. A lot of times people, they're not going to understand you. When you're a creative person, it's going to take you encouraging yourself most of the time. Sometimes it could be a lonely road because you feel like you're the only one out there doing this. You feel like you're the only one on that journey. So take the advice in this stream here, what the brother is saying, what I'm saying, and learn to cultivate your talents and your gifts, and not just be talented, but actually use the talent, utilize what you have to make a difference. You understand? Let's go.
Another opportunity was coming. And instead you started kind of becoming a recluse and closing in and protecting the things that you do have, and not being as generous and not being as grateful for the stuff that you have because you're comfortable where you are. And I believe that's not a way to live life. That's no way to live life if you really believe that you are a talented individual. I believe that life is a gamble. Life is truly a gamble. If I was to go outside and try to plant some tomato plants or something like that, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. There's a chance that, pests may come up and eat my tomatoes. There's a chance that my seeds won't even blossom. That's a chance. It's a gamble. Life, all of life is a gamble.
And we must learn how to play our hand. It's like a game of chess. We got to know how to play our hand. We got to know when to make our move. You understand? When things get tough, you got to know when to play your hand. You got to know how to win, how to walk, how to talk. You got to know the season that you're in. You got to recognize when you get those visions of things to do. Sometimes it could be late at night and I'll get an idea for a song. It'll just pop up in my mind. And I got to stop everything I'm doing just to go record. Why? Because I'm getting downloads from the Most High on React Now. I can't procrastinate. I can't sit back and wait till the morning to figure it out, because a lot of times I've lost out on songs. Let me tell you something. All of you music makers, producers, musicians, I'm pretty sure this happened to you. You heard a song playing in your mind. Your first thought was go into your studio, fire up the gear, get the idea out of your mind. We're not talking about building an entire song. We're talking about getting the idea that you hear. You hear the song playing in your mind. It's in your thoughts. You can hear the downloads. It's already in your mind. Get it in a tangible form that you can hear the audible energy. But what we do sometimes, we say to ourselves, I can remember it. And you put it off. You say, oh, later on, I'll go record. And then by the time later on come in, you're not hearing the song no more. The download is gone. The window of opportunity has closed. That is what happens when you don't take those risks. You were supposed to go and record. You heard your inner spirit telling you, here's a new song. Here's a new idea. Here's a thought. A lot of times you could be a person that's so close, a person that, do, I don't know what you do. Whatever it is that you do, you get the downloads that tell you, this is what we want you to do today. This is what I need for you to do next week. This is what I need for you to prepare. And a lot of times we procrastinate and we don't do it because we don't want to take any risk. We don't want to go out there and do it. Well, I don't know. I never learned how to do it. It doesn't matter if you never learn how to do it. Just go out there and do it. It doesn't matter. See? You don't have to know everything like a pro. The thing is, have the vision, write it down, make it plain, and go out there and start. Go out there and do what you want to do. It's just that simple. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to do it yourself. Let's go.
And if you feel like that you are a talented gambler and you've won, you've had some decent wins in the past, you cannot sit on those wins and let them last for as long as they can without improving your game.
There you go. You have to improve. You got to sharpen your skills. You just can't keep trying to live off of yesteryear's success. You can't win that way. It's going to run out. You got to open up new opportunities to win so you have a new way of doing things, always improving, always being ahead of the game. Because remember, as creative people, there are other creative people out there. There are other talented people out there. And if you're not moving forward and you're stagnant where you always been, everybody else is moving forward with the technology available today. And they're going to be able to have success that you should have had. The success you were supposed to walk in, they're going to be able to get your success because you are afraid of stepping out there to take those risks. Let's go.
Without improving your finances, without improving your relationships and all that stuff. If you're 100%, no, if you're 50% is other people's 100%, and they're praising you for doing your 50%, you need to shut that out. You need to shut that out. You need to take the praise. You need to take the criticism also with a grain of salt, because you know you're capable of giving more to this world. You know you're capable of giving more to this world. So I'm asking you, what's stopping you?
That's very, very smart, and it's very true. A lot of times we get caught up in the little praise people give us, this and that, and we think, okay, we arrived, we did it. No, a lot of you folks that are very creative and very talented, you know that most people have just seen a small percentage of what you're capable of doing. It's sort of like movies where you had like a fighter that's in the ring and he's boxing, and his coach, his trainer is telling him, look, you have a lot of potential. Use it. Stop holding back. You know what I mean? You're holding back your true potential. You're not engaging. You're not giving it your full force. We have to go out there and give it our full force. It's very important that we do that. Let's go.
Fear. But fear is the fare. So it's time to pay it. This is a quick episode. I just wanted to get this out there really quick. I really appreciate you guys. Matter of fact, I'm not done. My little brother is one of the most disciplined. Disciplined and one of the most talented people that I know. He's sometimes a little too disciplined, doesn't have fun. But I asked him, I was like, dude, why how are you so disciplined? How do you stay on the path? How can you just see this thing in your mind and then make it happen just like that?
Notice he said, see the thing in your mind and make it happen. A lot of times we get criticized for having tunnel vision as if though it's a bad thing. Tunnel vision is not a bad thing. It's only bad when you try to isolate the whole world out of your life and you don't want to, I guess, be around anybody. That's a problem. Tunnel vision is good, and being disciplined is good. It's sort of like you get the vision in your mind, and instead of you being entertained and distracted by society, everybody want to go out, party, they want to drink, they want to hang out at the clubs, but you're so disciplined. You're like, look, I got to work on this new song. I got this new software I'm going to learn. Wow, Native Instruments just dropped a new library. I'm going to go get this. I'm going to start fooling around with that. Oh, they got this new camera. I'm going to get this so my videos can be better. See, you're focusing on what you love and what you do, while other people are procrastinating with their gift because they figure they're talented. They got a little success. They don't really have to put in the extra work. I keep telling you, your talent is your career. Your talent is your job. You got to put in that work. Just like when you were at the 9 to 5, you would do overtime. You would spend hours there. You would stay back late. Well, you got to put that same effort into the thing that you love. It's very important that you do that. You must put that time, the blood, sweat, and tears in what you do in order to be successful. Because again, there's a lot of people out there. They see your potential. They know what you're capable of, and they will never give you your props. They will never tell you that you're good. They will never tell you that you're skilled. They will never give you your flowers. Listen to me very carefully, fam. There are a lot of people out here that know you're talented, know you're gifted, know you have what it takes, but they will never give you your flowers while you're living. They can see you. They hear you. They know exactly what's going on, but they will never give you your flowers. There's a lot of people right here on YouTube. They see the things that I'm doing. They see my music videos. They hear my songs. They see the talent. They know that I'm capable of tremendous works. They know that. But one thing they won't do is they would never give me my flowers before man. Nope. They will act like they don't see. Why? Because of envy. And this is something that needs to be a driving fuel for you. We have a lot of different types of things that you can use for encouragement and fuel. One thing I use a lot is the hate that people give me. And the hate that people give me is when they try to ignore the talent, when they try to ignore the gift, when they try to act like they don't see what's going on. Because that's interesting about social media is if somebody's talking about you negative, it's funny how everybody hear about it. Everybody hear about it. Everybody know what somebody said. Everybody will come to you and say, hey, so-and-so said this about you and that person said that about you. But when you're expressing your talents, when you're expressing your gifts, when you're showing your true creativity, trust and believe that those same people that love to hear lies, gossips, and rumors, trust and believe they hear and know exactly what you're doing. They can see the talent. They can see your gifts. But it's interesting. They don't come to you privately to tell you how great you are. They don't come to you privately telling you, wow, I really support what you're doing. They don't do that. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't want to see you succeed at what you're doing. This is why it's very important as a creative person, as a genius, as a person that have the gifts and the talents to do great things in this life, for you to focus on what you do best and not allow other people to distract you or to put you on a level that you don't belong. It's very important. And also, don't let nobody leech off of your creativity. Don't let nobody leech off of your blessing. You got to protect it at all costs. Let's go.
And he was like, oh, you remember Avatar: The Last Airbender, how Aang was the next descendant in a long line of avatars that came before him. For those of you that haven't watched the show, Aang is the main character. He's basically the one with the most superpowers in this series, but he comes from a long descendant of individuals with those superpowers. But he's just a kid in this series. He's only 12 years old. He said that I have to realize that I'm like Aang, but I'm Aang at a very young age. Aang, when he first started out, fear was paralyzing him from doing what he was supposed to do. Fear paralyzed him from living through his purpose. As a matter of fact, fear paralyzed him into just living within a sphere, an ice block or whatever, for over 100 years because he was just that afraid of failing. And my brother told me, he was like, we're the exact same way. We are in this long line of talented individuals. We're in this long line of talented individuals that have made you into who you are today. But if you're too afraid to get out of the ice and put in the work and take risk, you will never be the person that people know you're capable of being.
You notice that people know you're capable of being. You have to understand something, fam. There are people all around you that know you are highly talented, extremely blessed. They won't tell you. They won't give you your flowers. It's a very, very sick world we live in. It's interesting, but this is the world we live in. This is why normally when people die, that's when everybody want to talk well of you after you're gone. They don't talk well of you while you're living. It's a weird thing. I can't explain why it's like that. But at the end of the day, just know people all around you, they see what you do and they know that you got it. They trust and believe. They know you got that blessing. Let's go.
Can't postpone paying the fare of fear. You cannot postpone that. And when my brother told me that, man, I was like, damn, he's too wise for his years, but he makes a really good point. He makes a really good point. We cannot let the fact that we've had previous successes earlier on in our lives, or we're in a pretty comfortable place. We're doing well. We're doing well enough for our little nuclear family. But if you know that you're capable of changing not just your nuclear family, but your family tree, and you're not putting that effort forth, you're wasting it.
You're wasting it. Because a lot of times, believe it or not, fam, you may be that one person in your entire family tree that is capable of altering an entire future generation because of your contributions, because of the work that you put in, because previous relatives in your family that may have had the talent, they were afraid. They were afraid to take those risks. But for whatever reason, you're here now, and now you have that opportunity to go forward and do the work that they were afraid to do. So you have to take the initiative to start, to be active. Don't procrastinate. Don't sit around waiting for somebody else to do it for you, because nobody's going to do it for you. You got to take the risk. So get on out there and get busy with it, fam.
You're wasting it. There are people in a grave right now. There are people in a cemetery right now that wish they had half of the talent that you have.
Listen, what he's saying is real. And I've heard this saying when I was a youth, that the most wealthiest place on earth is the grave, the cemetery, because in the cemetery are buried many talents, many people, many souls that have passed on, that failed to produce. They failed to step out in faith. They failed on taking risk. You remember 50 Cent's song, Get Rich or Die Trying? You have to have that type of mentality when it comes to your gifts and your talents. You have to recognize that you literally have to focus on doing this thing, even if it meant dying to do it. Do you understand what I mean? Because you're literally sacrificing your life for future generations in your family tree. You're sacrificing your life for your children's children. That's what this is all about. We get so comfortable with life because we want our car, we want our house, we want our little items that we want to enjoy, not realizing that we got future generations that we got to make sure that we sustain so that their lives can be easier and they can walk in the blessings that we literally possessed in this life right now. It's very important, fam. A lot of us are selfish and we trying to keep our talents for ourselves, not realizing that we got to set a standard for our future children's children to follow so that all of them are moving forward with their gifts and talents, rather than just allowing their lives to be used by somebody else to make some business or corporation money. No, they know how to use their own abilities and they can be self-sufficient. Let's go.
And you're wasting it. You're wasting it. So that's all I'm going to tell you. That's all this video is about. Whatever it is that you know you should be doing, and whatever that talent is that you know you should be capitalizing on, I need you to pursue it. I need you to pursue it. Your family needs you to pursue it, and this world needs you to pursue it. So with that being said, I want you to try to be your best self. I really appreciate you watching the video. If you made it this far into it, I don't have anything to sell you. If fear is not the thing that's paralyzing you, be sure to let me know what is paralyzing you in the comments. I mean, it's different for everyone. Some people use their families as an excuse. Some people use their significant others as an excuse not to go as hard as they know they should be going. I'm very curious to hear. Let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe if you're new here. I really appreciate you watching. And until next time, you take it easy. Peace.
All right, fam. That's all we got for today. So you heard it. It is what it is. That being said, fam, I hope everybody out there got something from the message. And that's about that. Right? If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more. I'll be sure to link the brother's channel in the comment section and the description so you can check out his video and show some love. I'm gonna also link that other music maker's video so you could check out his message regarding music if you're a music maker yourself or a musician. So we're gonna get up on out of here, and that's about it, fam. It is what it is. Black Male Advice TV, the #1 channel on YouTube, hands down. You want to support? Hit the Cash App, $ Ringo TV Raw. We out, fam. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $ Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out.